Welcome everyone, Costin here with Battlefield 2042 Open Beta. More open for some people than others, but Open Beta all the same. I personally got it through EA Play. So before I go into a match, I do want to talk a bit about the performance and the stability of the Open Beta. Now, usually when it comes to Open Betas, as of late, especially considering how a lot of the games just launch in basically the same state. I'm looking at Uniworld as their betas. I think it is perfectly fine to criticize the hell out of a beta because that's likely the game you're going to get. Maybe there are some things they can fix, some performance improvements, all that kind of stuff, bug fixing. And I am hopeful that they might improve some of the performance issues and stability issues because it is not really great right now. I am playing with the game at 1440p, 75 FPS, 74.9 hertz. That's my monitor refresh rate. High dynamic range turned off because I don't have an HDR monitor. Motion blur off. Chromatic aberration off. Everything on here. Settings to high except TAA, which I've set to low as opposed to high. I just don't notice the difference and I don't think it's worth the performance. And ambient occlusion set to full. And then I've also enabled these. I've played with them off, I've played with them on. So I've enabled reflex, low latency, future frame rendering, disabled VSync. I do have it set to fast in the NVIDIA control panel, so I do still have VSync, but it's the superior VSync. So anyway, with these kind of settings, I do get about 50 to 60 FPS. Which I feel that on my computer on an i7 9700K and a 2080 Super with 16 gigs of RAM is not good enough. Also on a pretty good, on an M2 SSD. So pretty solid computer that I have, a pretty powerful computer. Most people don't have a computer like powerful as this, and I do struggle to reach consistent 60 FPS, let alone the 75 that my monitor is actually capable of on high, let alone ultra. And the game is loading over here. So that's one thing to mention. I might disable some as a setting that I was trying out earlier, but either way. So the performance of the game is not where I feel it should be, and I think that they could use, they could certainly work on it a bit more. Just switching some attachments. So I certainly think that they should work on it more. Don't think it's where it needs to be. Let me put an armor plate. And yeah, I think that maybe some of this will be fixed with the full release, maybe not. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to expect with open betas these days. Maybe there are some sweeping changes that are lying behind the door, or maybe this is all we're gonna get. Now, in terms of the game, how the game looks is honestly amazing. I wish I could open the map. The map is bugged. I press the key, nothing happens. You can't even change the keybind, though my M key is absolutely working on my computer. Oh, I'm gonna die. Yeah, that tank was gonna kill me. Oh, and why did I jump? I do hate the fact that the game puts you as a random guy and you always have to reselect whatever you want to go for. But anyway. That is K52. I mean, I know it has a different name, but come on, it's just a K52. Let me go get some vengeance, good sir. Graphically, I mean, it is easily one of the best looking games I have played, period. Like, without a doubt, easily the most impressive shooter I've played in terms of graphical settings on a multiplayer level. Like single player games, maybe some are better, but yeah, this is the game that you bring home to your crisis dad because this is gonna make him jealous. It is hell to control a jet, I admit. I don't know, like, I'm not having it. go. Hit the ground running. I don't know what's with the jet controls. Helicopters are kind of okay, but it is mouse and keyboard. Maybe I should just buy a joystick just for the sake of the damn jets. I used to play a lot of jets in BF3, and it was actually quite fine there. But speaking about Battlefield 3 and all that, if you've played Battlefield 3, if you've played Battlefield 4, this game will feel very, very familiar to those games because it pretty much is those games. Some improvements, yes, but is in many ways that do count that game, like those games. Larger scale, 128 players versus 64. Much larger maps than any of the biggest maps that you ever saw in Battlefield 3 or 4. All those good things. But fundamentally, the way the game feels, the way it plays, is pretty much like those titles. Now, that's both good. That's both good. And bad. Bad in the sense that Battlefield 3 and 4 have had issues that DICE never fixed, so like clipping issues. The recent Battlefield games, all of them, 3, 4, 1, 5, doesn't matter. We're just missing 2. But all the recent Battlefield games, including this one, have had the same like lag, clipping, performance issues that this one has. It's just a problem this series has right now. It's an engine issue, I think. Will they ever fix it? I don't really know. Actually, right now, with the settings that I've just put in, I'm 74 FPS. That's actually surprising. Maybe having the frame renderer has improved the situation. By the way, speaking about the CPU, the performance issues, this game can use 100% of your CPU, which big surprise. If a game is anything on your computer uses 100% of your CPU, your computer may very well crash. At least mine does. Because, well, in my case, it's because I want silent cooling, so I pay for that in terms of efficiency. But that might just be a personal problem. Oh, damn it, 2 guys. And yeah, the way the ragdolls work, that's very much Battlefield 3. It's just like, oh, what is this? Battlefield 3 2.0. Or 3.0, because 2.0 was Battlefield 4. It's not horrible. Let me be clear. I am saying that, but it's not bad to have a game that does that. Far from it. In fact, having another Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, that's actually a good thing. All those issues notwithstanding. To some degree, though, I do feel disappointed that after Battlefield 1, they just taken massive steps back. Like, going back to Battlefield 3 and 4, okay, that's well and good. That's all well and good, but I do feel that they could do a lot better in terms... Oh, shit. I do feel they could do a lot better than it. And I think like that's kind of the disappointment I've had with Battlefield as of late. That they did release a pretty solid game that was actually working on improving certain things compared to the predecessors in Battlefield 1, and then they just, I don't know, like decided to make the social justice warrior version of fucking World War II. And it's like, World War II is not something you should just like put in politicized, because it's already very politicized, and the things that happened were very, very important.
Over there, go!
And so the fact that you had the World War II game with a Norwegian campaign, nothing against what the Norwegian contributions were in World War II, but really, or any of that nonsense. It just didn't make sense. I mean, the Pacific DLC, okay, that did earn some goodwill back, but by that point, the community had been dead and done. So yeah, good job there. I mean, it looked amazing. It had some good things going for it, the destructibles and all that kind of stuff. There were good things about that game, don't get me wrong, but overall, it just ended up being a pile of crap. And that pissed a lot of people off. I wonder why they focused on the things they did in the Battlefield 2042 trailer. But that's the thing. Like, I feel it's just such a like, it just feels like DICE is taking a step back. Even though we know, like, they're pandering. Let's be clear. That trailer that they released, that first trailer with that RPG shot, if that's not fucking pandering, I don't know what is. It's not bad. Again, it's not bad, but I cannot help but express my disappointment because, well, Battlefield 1 had a lot of issues. Far from me to deny that situation, but I felt it was a really positive step in the right direction. And now they're like, oh yeah, we're not gonna go back to that. We're not gonna improve our game. We're not gonna do anything better. We're just gonna do to what we're nice and comfortable on. And same with the idea of not having a campaign. I mean, I'm disappointed. I'm not angry. I'm not saying, oh, I'm not gonna buy this game because it doesn't have a campaign. Considering the campaign offers that they put in Battlefield 5 and 4 and 3, I'm like, 3 had one good mission on the Caspian border, which was kind of had like a great moment, but that was pretty much it. And then that's all there is to say, really. Let's go up that tower. I don't know if the robot dog can follow me there. I don't know. I wish I could open the map, but I can't, sadly. Now, I do want to talk about the attachment system. So it's great that you can switch your attachments like this. It's actually amazing because you go from open areas to closed-in areas, and you're good to play in both of those. That's great. That shouldn't be underestimated. That shouldn't be ignored. But the problem is, and I'll show it once I get into a new match, but the problem is that, at least on PC, and really DICE, could you at least give a shit about PC controllers? Like, for instance, I have a hybrid scope. I had the hybrid scope on that gun. I don't know what key you have to press in order to switch between the various mode, the close range and the long range mode on that hybrid scope. I just don't. So that is actually genuinely frustrating. They don't tell you that. And then the key, the F key, it's F, just so you know. The key that does that doesn't work sometimes. Or actually quite a lot of times. You have to switch between sites just to make it work. So frustrating, obviously pretty frustrating to have to deal with that. And by the way, I might want to mention this whole 128 player count that I remember with Battlefield 3, I think it was, or 4, one of those two. I remember an interview from a game developer basically saying, oh, we don't want to go over 100 players because it's too many. Yeah, that was just a load of shit. You should have just said it. The console limitations are, or the game's limitations are, we can't do more than 64 players and have it run well. I just wish developers weren't lying sacks of shit sometimes in terms of their marketing, but they are. Like, maybe people would have a better opinion of game developers and publishers if, I don't know, you weren't bullshitting us all the time because you don't want to admit us. Like, we can understand. I know a lot of people can be assholes and unreasonable, but believe it or not, you get the community you deserve if you act like that. Now, on top of the attachment system, what's new? You also get this ability. You also get the class system. Now, what does the specialist give you? Well, it gives you a special ability. So in my case, I have a grapple hook, which is fucking awesome because I have a great deal of mobility, at least in buildings, due to it. So that's great. That's actually something that I do like, something that is great to Battlefield. Then you have, I've only played the turret guy, the support, basically. The gunner, I guess. And I've played the assault guy, so it's like I don't know what the other two have. I don't even care right now. I guess Recon has something with spotting or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, you do have a specialist with different abilities. I do like the depth of field, like the way the sight looks when you're looking down sight. You can enable this and settings. Like it gives you a nice feeling when you're playing this game, like how it looks, how it feels. But so 3 and 4, this is better, but it is the same thing. And also, they're ripping off Call of Duty. Like, I have an armor plate gadget, basically. It's like, I wonder why that is in there. Could it be that a certain other shooter released last year and made one of the biggest battle royale games of all time? Oh, damn it, that was sniper. Actually, not even as... Wow, I'm impressed. Holy shit, he killed me with a fucking pistol to the head. So that is pretty impressive, actually. I'll grant him that. So yeah, that's good. Oh. All right, let's go. Oh, you want to get me? Now, do I think they should launch it in this state? Look, if they don't fix these issues, but some bugs, some glitches, some performance issues, I think the performance should be better. I think the options menu and some of the controls should be clearer. I think we might be in for another Battlefield 4 launch. Better, honestly, better than Battlefield 4. Actually, I shouldn't go that far, because Battlefield 4 was a disaster for a lot of reasons. It's like, oh, here's Battlefield 4. What is it? It's the exact same as Battlefield 3. Hooray! And it was. Like, let's not pretend it wasn't. Yeah, some changes. This is bigger, better, and all that. It does feel different, but... or somewhat different. The way they've designed the level certainly will make it different. But I don't know if it's gonna be enough. Like, they are playing to their strengths, the good things they're good at, and that's always what you want. Like, I don't think a developer necessarily has to reinvent the wheel. Okay. Every time. Why isn't the... Damn it. I don't think they necessarily need to reinvent the wheel every time, but you know, they do need better controls. Oh, that. They do need better controls for that version. Okay. Damn it. Let me get that. Alright, I'm healing. There's a guy over there. And he's dead, I guess. Feels nice. It plays pretty well, actually. 66 FPS. What? My frame rate went up with some of those setting changes. Like, I thought... Okay, I'll be honest with you. This is a bit ridiculous. So, the game having 100% CPU usage, which you can fix if you go into your power settings and you limit it. There, I did it. Me enabling future frame rendering and NVIDIA Reflex low latency at that, increasing my FPS is insane. It's like, what? That's the opposite effect you expect that to have. Like, what's with this game? I think it's too heavy on the CPU. I do have both a good CPU and GPU, but it's using way too much of the CPU and way too little of the GPU. So I put stress on the GPU, and that improved the performance. Can you make sense at any point? I am looking forward to you making sense at one point, game. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Going through a firestorm and not making it because, well. Yeah, just one more rocket that was good enough to hit me in the face. We are losing, by the way, by the looks of it. Let's go with the tank. What do you mean I can't deploy? Come on. Okay. Why isn't that working? Was there some message? Whatever. Well, that... Okay. That's just weird. I don't know. Yeah, that happens sometimes. What can I say? And the scope bugged out again. I think I'm gonna give up on changing the hybrid. The hybrid side, it's just not gonna happen. Alright, respawn timer, that's what it said there. No, it's just not letting me spawn in a tank or a or a helicopter, whatever. Let's get some tight turns. Lower the speed, lower the speed, lower the speed. Come on, game. Like, yeah, my flying is horrible. Yep, got hit from the ground. I did switch to VTOL mode, that's on me. Trying to figure out where that damn chopper was. We are gone. Now, do I think it's worth buying? Well, it's kind of hard to make that kind of judgment just by playing a single map, to be honest with you. I mean, the reason I didn't play Battlefield 4, to be honest with you, is because it's like, well, I like Battlefield 3, but I was kind of done with it. So it's like, I didn't buy it. I only played it through Origin Access and now EA Pro, right? That revolver. The revolver trolling.
Majority of sectors under our control.
I think if you've played, I think like obviously if it depends. Like, are you sick and tired of Battlefield 3 and 4 right now, or then maybe not. If you have had enough of a pause between those games, or if you haven't even played those games or one of those games, then maybe it's a good time to get back in. We'll see. I'm terrible. Yeah, terrible. Absolutely horrible. Abysmal. Should quit the game right now. And I actually will. Quasine here, signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and enable notifications. And stay tuned for me glitching through a damn chopper that's crashing on the ground and then horribly dying as I come to the ground. Because there's an attack helicopter right above me and I don't have an option. You can go to the armor plate there. Let me call in... No. Let me call in a ranger. Yep, and that. So, see you around, boys and girls, and stay tuned for more. I don't know, will I play this game at launch? Will I not play at the game? Well, I got the EA Pro, so maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll try it out when it comes out, see what it's all about in its full version. I mean, that's the nice thing about those kind of subscription options, is that it allows you a way to actually test a game, right? Without paying a full price for it. And if you don't like it, well, you don't have to play it. Right, that's your personal decision. So, anyway, Quasine here, signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, enable notifications, and see you around.